Hello, my name's Hemingway Jones. Welcome to the channel. On today's episode, I will be heading to the architectural masterpiece, the Boston Public Library. And I will be taking a fountain pen with me that's worthy of this incredible building. And that's the Pelikan M600 Souverän. I'll be doing some research and some journaling. So come along with me, let's roll the film. The Boston Public Library in Copley Square was built on reclaimed land in Boston's Back Bay, and it opened its doors in 1895. The architect was the famous Charles Fulton McKim of McKim, Mead and White, who is responsible for many of the most notable landmarks in our country. This includes Penn Station that was senselessly demolished in the 1960s in the name of progress, an act of civic vandalism. Fortunately, the McKim building still stands and will for generations to come. The Pelikan M600 Souverän has a much more recent lineage, going back to 1985, but it riffs on design cues that we've seen in Pelikan pens since the 1920s. The red tortoise is a lovely finish for a pen. It's made of cellulose acetate and it dazzles with shining orange, red and brown in dark and light luminescent stripes, like a sunset shimmering on the edges of wind-driven waves. The remaining materials are of red synthetic resin and luscious gold-plated trim that all glistens with depth and beguiling bursts of color. If you like red, this is a buffet of red tones just for you. How it relates to a tortoiseshell, I don't know. I've seen other tortoiseshell finishes, even the real thing in vintage incarnations. Plus, it adds a bit of mixed animal imagery, with a pelican with a tortoiseshell, as delightful as that visual may be. There are some deviations as what you would expect from a pelican here. There is no discernible ink level window and no other secret way of seeing the ink level like translucent stripes within the barrel. This would have been an easy fix. The barrel is so colorful, it seems like it should be translucent. I am sure this was a choice based on aesthetic reasons, and the aesthetics here are transcendent, so it's hard to argue with them. But if an ink level window is important to you, please keep this in mind because you really won't find one here. What you will find, though, is an absolutely beautiful pen that seems to bend the light and wrap it around itself in just a dazzling array of depth and color. It's truly one of the most beautiful pens that I've ever seen. At just over 18 grams, this pen is very light and easy to carry. I particularly like the clip that's stylized and in the shape of a pelican's face. It glistens with its gold plating and clips confidently to any shirt pocket. The weight of the pen seems to dissolve in there. This makes it a fantastically portable pen. As beautiful as it is, there's no reason to leave it at home. It's a great pen for your more refined adventures, like journaling in the amazing Bates Hall, beneath the 50-foot-high barrel-vaulted coffered ceiling. It is truly one of the most beautiful interior spaces that I have ever seen. I am using the 14 karat gold two-tone rhodium-plated medium nib of the Pelikan to trace wondrous lines of varying thickness across the page of my notebook. This is one of the smoothest nibs available and is crafted with a touch more bounce than I would otherwise expect from a Pelikan, a pure delight. It also comes in extra fine, fine, and broad, and like all Pelikan nib units, it is removable if you want to swap it out for something else. Of course, there is a price for this. The feeds are generous, which I appreciate. I find a nice wet line is one of the highlights of fountain pen writing. The surprisingly cozy Abbey Room is named after Edwin Austin Abbey, the artist who did the murals on the wall. I've always enjoyed these, as well as the more notable John Singer Sargent Gallery above, that I didn't visit on this trip, but have visited many times before. The simple bench built into the wall will do for some quick notes on everything I have seen and learned so far. One of the most magical spaces in this building is its Italianate courtyard, inspired by the Palazzo della Cancelleria in Rome, especially in its arcaded promenade supported by Doric columns. This space, the open center, the pool, and the beguiling bacchanal bronze give you a sense of serenity and peace away from the noise of Copley Square. This is a wonderful spot to grab a bite or meet with friends. I met my Italian tutor here regularly when I lived and worked in Boston. This day I am journaling in the same spot. The cap of the Pelikan fits snugly and stays in place, even though a quick 3/4 turn will unleash that beautiful nib. I have had issues with the cap of my M200 mischievously coming undone and threatening to destroy another one of my Oxford shirts. There is no issue here though. I also love that the cap terminates in a band of gold, forever protecting it from any potential chips should the pen be dropped. This is important to me, and I even take points away from my beloved Pilot Custom 823 for not having this feature. It is finished with a gorgeous Pelikan finial and 14-karat gold plating, a feast for the eyes while writing with it, and light reflecting from it. The pen fills from a bottle and has a 1.2 milliliter capacity. That's plenty of ink to last you a few days of dedicated research. I often like to pick inks that complement the color of the pen, like Diamine Oxblood, Writer's Blood, or perhaps Pelikan Brown for something more sedate, or Diamine Firefly, which would look amazing and be very flamboyant. The Pelikan piston fill is legendary. An easy turn fills the entire pen, and it's a very durable design. I prefer piston-filled pens, and Pelikans are among the best. This is especially evident when cleaning the pen. Often less than 3 flushes is enough for the water to run clean from the pen. Amazing. The pen is 133 millimeters in length and 10 millimeters in diameter. The pen is made in Germany, if that sort of thing is important to you. One downside of this pen may be its size. It sits awkwardly between its more substantial M800 and M1000 older siblings, and the much more diminutive M200 and M400 pens. Some may not be willing to pay a premium for a medium-sized pen. Nevertheless, I think this is one of the most striking, interesting designs from Pelikan in the last several years, and I feel honored to own it. So who am I when I'm using this pen? I am someone perhaps far grander than I actually am. I'm a person who appreciates the finer things in life, but wants them on their own terms. Someone who enjoys going to gallery openings, cocktails at the Oak Long Bar, doodling on the program at Symphony Hall, holding his wife's hand while walking on a beach in Cornwall. Wait a minute. That actually is me. When I open them, most of the books have the smell of an earlier time leaking out between the pages, a special odor of the knowledge and emotions that for ages have been calmly resting between the covers. Breathing it in, I glance through a few pages before returning each book to its shelf. So what do you think of the Pelikan M600? What do you think of Pelikan pens in general? Let me know in the comments. Also, what do you think of the Boston Public Library? Is it not an amazing building? Will you pay it a visit on your next trip to Boston? Let me know that too. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for subscribing if you would. I make new videos each Thursday at noon, and it helps to keep me motivated. Also, please like and comment and share it with somebody else who you think might enjoy this content. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again further up the road.